This week on Veterans Stand Up, we're talking with Mike Quinn. Those of you on LinkedIn know him as a two-time LinkedIn top voice, but also veterans know him as an expert in transition. So Mike, let's pull this apart and cut right to it. In terms of planning, what makes a good transition?
You know, Paul, I think the first and most important part of it is to actually start early. The huge part of the transition is actually figuring out what you want to do and where. And that takes a lot of time, depending on how long you've been in the military. It's not as easy as saying, I'm a sergeant major, I want to go out and be in the C-suite. You've got to really dial it down and figure out exactly what job you want and where you want to do it and what is important to your family. So for me, it took over 200 informational interviews to figure out I wanted a career in human capital consulting. And so I tell people, get active early, start talking to people, learn more about what they do, and really focus to drill down on what do you want to do so that the next part of your transition, the resume, the interviews, and everything else will flow smoothly.
And I don't think people realize veterans want to get these phone calls or these emails and help other veterans with those sort of things. I think people are reluctant to do that.
I don't think veterans are reluctant in receiving the calls. I think that a lot of transitioning service members, recent veterans, are reluctant to reach out, and that's kind of crazy to me. I will tell you, and most people will say the same thing, that the year of my transition was the hardest year of my life. And so any chance I have to give back and make it easier for those that come after us, I'll do that. And then I usually, when I talk to people that have trouble with reaching out for these informational interviews, is flip it around. 5 years from now, you found your success, and a service member actually reaches out and says, I'm getting out, I'm lost. Do you have a few minutes to give you some advice? Would you say yes? And just about everyone says, absolutely, I would.